Hello everyone, welcome to this mediumship reading. So, although I'm going to be shuffling cards and using tarot and oracle cards to show you what this person has to say, I actually have been receiving this person without cards for quite some time, including before he passed. And that is because before he passed, he reached out to me in the non-physical. I feel I need to explain something about people who are dying. And actually, people who aren't dying, okay? Those of us who understand the dream world, who have had out-of-body experiences, who astral travel, you will know that at night that your spirit basically leaves your body and travels around. And this often happens with people who are dying, especially people who are incapacitated in some way. Perhaps they can't speak in some way. Perhaps they're on a lot of medications, and the spirit gets, bored in their body. Like, when we have an experience here on earth, during the day, we're up utilizing our spirit in a 3D way. But at night, our body needs rest, but that doesn't mean our spirit does. So anyway, I think I'm getting off on a tangent. We often leave our bodies at night. So this is how this person came to me. I didn't know it at the time that he was reaching out to tell me that anything was particularly wrong. He did reach out to tell me he was dying. And that was the clear message, that he was dying. And I don't want to say any more about that. This message is going to be a lot of channeling. Okay, I'm going to show you some cards just for your own whatever you need as a physical being to believe what I'm saying. But this person has been coming to me for a very long time, even before he died. And I just need to convey that this person is not at rest and that he has a message. I have tried so many times to record this video and I couldn't because he's angry and he suffered and he's heartbroken, and the fact is that Spirit has made it very clear to me that I am to make this video and that I am to speak on behalf of this person. And so this is part of my path. And I need to honor it. So I'm going to give this person a voice. He has wanted so long for me to give him a voice. And the people who are meant to hear this video need to know that. This person has been wanting you to hear him. In fact, he's been around you too. He's been flickering your lights. He's been coming through your thoughts. You can hear his voice in your head. You can feel his broken heart. So, I'm here to give him a voice. After months of bringing him through and him encouraging me, he's been very patient, but he has a lot to say. So, I have a bunch of decks here. I don't know what I'm going to use. I'm just going to ask him what he wants to use. And this video might be long. I don't know. I'm just going to wing this. Yesterday was a time that I tried recording this video again. As I said, I've been trying to record it for months. And he didn't want to mess around. He didn't want to spend time telling you who he was just to prove to you that he's coming through. So I could go through the motions for you, pull out some cards asking him, who is he? How will the viewer know who this is? How will the viewer know that their loved one is coming through? Okay, he didn't want to answer any of that because he's impatient. Because I've tried so many times to get this message out, and he's just like, no, let's just get to the message. So I will say that he wants me to call him Jiminy Cricket. So that's what we're going to address him as, Jiminy Cricket. And he says he's your conscience. And I'm being called to tell you, and this is a message he gave to me a long time ago. He's a very sweet man, and he's got a little funny sense of humor. And although he is very upset and not at rest, he wants me to tell you that he's pushing up daisies. And that message is going to resonate for someone. I'm hearing a grandchild, but could resonate for a couple of different people. All right, so he's bringing me to his funeral. There was a lot of deception going on at the funeral. A lot of facades, a lot of people fronting. He heard and saw people saying fluffy things about their relationship, about how close they were with him, or something about their relationships that weren't quite accurate. And that is because there was a lot of cover-up happening, a lot of distraction happening. He's telling me that not everyone was in the loop, that the family members closest to him, they were taking care of him in a sense, managing his estate, and not everyone knew what was going on in regards to his actual family. He's telling me that there are other family members who were kind of in the know about what was going on behind the scenes. Some people knew more than others. And there was a taking advantage of this knowledge, this dispensing of the knowledge, this keeping certain things in the dark. Over time, some of this knowledge had to come out to these certain family members who only knew some of it because of the depth of things that were going on. At some point, they needed to learn more. And these things started to come more to the surface as the people who did know what was going on, as they started to understand that they might be found out for what they did. The information they were given was to create a sense of loyalty and an understanding that whatever was going on was happening for a good reason or something like that. He's telling me that these people who only knew parts of the story, they were taken advantage of. And the people who knew the information completely and fully, they knew that that's what they were doing. Breadcrumbing with information and keeping people in the dark about what was actually happening in order to maintain their loyalty is the word that's coming through, in order to keep them from being angry or being combative or saying something to other people because what was actually happening was not okay. So there was information limited for these reasons, to keep people seeing what they wanted other people to see, and yet giving them certain information that would sort of keep them from like leaving the situation or speaking out about it. This man is heartbroken. He's bringing me to his home. He's bringing me to a situation where something was happening. His normal caretaker wasn't there. It was someone in the family who was there, but she was someone in the family, but she wasn't blood related. And for some reason he was up. You know, this man was like kind of in pain, and he could walk, but it just wasn't easy. I'm getting that this woman arrived, and maybe she'd been there for a little while. I feel like she wasn't there for very long. It was just him and her. They were alone. But he was heading back towards his bedroom, and he like needed to go to the bathroom. Okay, so yeah, oh my gosh. He's bringing me to a reading I did a while ago about a King of Pentacles who was being poisoned in his food or drink. Okay? And he's telling me that the reason I cried is because he was coming through. So this woman who's at his house, she stopped by to take care of him in some way, okay? He could have been fed something or given something in his food or drink, because what he's showing me is him walking down the hall and him needing to go to the bathroom and him feeling like dizzy, him feeling like he's going to pass out or fall over or something, and him needing to use the bathroom in the hallway before he got to his room, because there's a bathroom hooked to his room, and he wanted to get to that bathroom, but he couldn't because he was feeling dizzy, like he was going to fall over. And he's showing me him holding onto the wall, just, like it's like it overtook him quickly or something. It just came on strong, whatever he was given, whatever made him feel dizzy. He's showing me that in the bathroom, in the hallway, there was blood and urine on the floor. And so he couldn't go in there. And what he's also showing me is this woman standing behind him, watching him lose his balance, watching how he was reacting to whatever he was given, watching him lose consciousness is what I'm hearing. Like watching to see that whatever she has done to him is working. So I don't know if that was his actual death or if that was something that happened before he died. He's also telling me that one person suspected that something was going on with him, and that person didn't say anything because they ignored their intuition, even though they knew something was happening, and they were too afraid to say anything. They rationalized in their mind that they were not seeing or understanding or intuiting what they were feeling about the situation, but they were right. And this spirit, Mr. Jiminy Cricket, wants this person to know they were right and that their intuition is strong. And they saw. This person was shown in their mind's eye. This person has a strong third eye. Despite black magic that has been used against them. This person who was at his house, who did something. Oh my gosh, it's flooding in. The woman who was at his house did something. Like, did black magic over this intuitive person who knew that something was wrong, something was going on with this man before he passed away. This person intuited that something was wrong, like strongly, and they just didn't, they didn't say anything, because who would believe them? And what would happen if they had said something? Like, this is something that should have been said, they should have opened up about it. However, what he's saying is that this was such an unfortunate circumstance, because even if they had said something, it would have been like a catastrophe, not just on a familial level, but according to the law. This person would have been saying something that they intuited without having tangible proof. So this spirit, Mr. Jiminy Cricket, is coming through to let this person know that you were spot on. And that he knows you wanted to say something and that you had to kind of let it go because he knows that you didn't have tangible proof. He's telling me that there were heavy confusion spells placed over this person who suspected something was wrong. There was attempts to block their third eye, attempts to keep them in the dark. Dark magic used to keep them like catatonic. It's like a catatonic spell. Something that is like brainwashing, like in order to follow orders, kind of. Like so that this person who, with a strong intuition, will be faithful and obedient to this woman who has done dark magic over them. Also, he's showing me that this woman placed dark magic over him as well. And that although he was sick with a terminal illness, he's showing me crystals around his bed with programmed intentions to bring upon death earlier than natural. He's telling me that this woman sacrificed him. There's a young man, and he's unrelated to this man who I'm channeling. This gentleman who I'm channeling is like in his 70s. But there is another energy entering right now. He's younger, and I want to say he's, in his 50s perhaps. Young 50s, I don't know, mid 50s. He's bringing me back to the video that I made about the King of Pentacles having something put in their food or drink. He's showing me that there was another man who also had something put into their food or drink, or somehow this younger man was already like an addict. He's showing me, oh God. What he's showing me is that there's something in common with him, with this man, this Mr. Jiminy Cricket. Okay, there's something in common with him. There's something in common with this younger man in his 50s or so that passed. And then there's someone who's alive right now, who's also in their 50s, who is being affected in the same way. What he's trying to convey is that there is a connection to the deaths, and it's coming through in a sense where it's like poison was used in a way that made it look like these people like died of natural causes or died of a natural event, or it was just, kind of bound to happen, right? Like an addict would die of an overdose or something like this. And so this poisoning. Like perhaps a poison was used specifically on one of these people, or two of these people, or all three of these people. Regardless, there's something that is happening, something that is tying these people together. And a fourth person she's thinking about doing this to, or has perhaps just started doing this to. He's telling me this person manifests death for these people around her. And her methods are such that it looks like natural causes, or that it was, part of an already occurring illness, or that they were already prone to something, or that they were going to die anyway, he says. The person who's in her life, the man in his 50s, has experienced heart problems, palpitations, anxiety, extreme anxiety, I'm hearing, trouble making decisions, deer in headlights. I feel there's a bit of a distance between this woman and this fourth person. So she is devising ways to affect this fourth person emotionally. Okay, and I'm being called to reference this video of this King of Pentacles. This King of Pentacles representing several different men. But one of the things I said in that video was that there's like a sense of feeling sad, or feeling like their life is failing or falling apart. And so encouraging this person to drink, encouraging this person to stay in a low vibration. Okay, in fact, even caring for this person or these two people, caring for them in such a way that, here, have a drink. Why don't you just relax? Just go sit down. I'll take care of you. I'll bring you some food. I'll bring you a drink. Everything's going to be okay. This kind of thing. This is the evil that comes from this woman. It is dressed up in sweetness and mothering and caring, and like she's got it all handled. He's saying that this one person, this 50-year-old person, he is closer to this woman in proximity. A younger person is further in proximity. So I'm getting that she plans on using emotional manipulation with this fourth person, this younger person. So I'm differentiating the older person in their 50s with heart issues, anxiety issues, the younger person having liver issues and depression. So, she's planning on using these already physically manifested issues to her advantage. So, for example, this person with liver issues would be encouraged to drink. He's showing me that this younger person's significant other will be recruited to work against him. And that is going to happen through a fear tactic. And she will turn against this young man as a source of this emotional manipulation. This could come through a child being, I'm hearing that this child would be a sacrifice to bring this young man to his knees, basically, and to maintain her own agendas. Greed, wealth, youth. This woman, in her own lineage, has been trained to use dark magic to sacrifice souls in order to manifest. This woman's lineage has been used to bring about many deaths, untimely. And so she's learned some things. She has guidance on these things. She also has connections which allow her to facilitate these things. He's showing me that there was someone like a nurse or someone outside the family, like somebody who wouldn't have been there very often. She received some kind of information. He gave her some kind of information. And she was supposed to either deliver it or, I'm hearing the word estate. She was handed some kind of a document about his estate. He wrote something and gave it to her. He did this because he knew that things were going on behind the scenes, that this woman was doing stuff to him. He knew he was being sacrificed. She knows something. Okay, mail was intercepted, I heard. Mail was stolen. He's telling me something happened in court. Documents were hidden. There is a lawyer involved. He's talking about this woman. Bulldoze is the word that's coming through. There's so much to this situation. I could probably do several hours of this reading. But this woman, for various reasons, married this man in his 50s. One of them being money, his own stable income and personal wealth. Another being his family wealth, his particular inheritance. And she worked with another person, an older person, someone who she gets advice from, to devise this sort of scheme. Feels like she may have consulted with this person in the past. This person is very well knowledgeable about how to, I guess, manipulate the various systems regarding or surrounding death. So like estate issues, how to get estate issues to go in a particular way. So whoever would be involved with that, this person is very well versed in sort of like the person she goes to for advice, this older person that she has consulted with over the years has instructed her and advised her about how to take advantage of others through various means, including government and legal means, and business, I'm hearing, real estate. So this person, this woman, this puppet master, she has a lot of connections. And she maintains those connections and uses those connections to her advantage. And I'm sorry if this message is irritating to listen to. It's going to happen no matter when I record, because the dark entities attached to this woman do not want me speaking or saying any of this. He's showing me the judicial system, like dark magic was placed over the judicial system to confuse and blind them to certain things. He's showing me that scene in Star Wars where it's like, I think it was like Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker perhaps in I don't know the name of the vehicle, but some kind of like hovering vehicle, and they're going through, they're trying to pass a guard. They're trying to get through somewhere, and they have to go through this guard, and he does some kind of Jedi mind trick on him, and he's like, nothing to see here. You may go, or something like that. I don't remember the words, but it's that's the kind of magic that was used. However she handled this estate, she was blinding in some way through dark magic and through the use of her attorney. He knew what to address and what not to address, and what to communicate and how, in order to, sway the outcome. I mean, that's what attorneys do. But in this case, the attorney was being paid to work against Mr. Jiminy Cricket's desires. So he had a certain way that his division of assets was supposed to go, and it didn't. And this woman actively and fiercely fought against it